How's it going, YouTube? I thought I would share a review on a 2020 Honda Rancher 420. This is the fuel injected system. I'm actually currently sitting on it, but anyway, I thought I would do a review on it because I know people have been looking at the review, or excuse me, the video of it last time, running through some of the trails at my house. But here it is. So this is a Honda Rancher 420. This is a 2020 model. Again, like I said, it is the fuel injection system. The dealership told me that you can run 87 octane in it, which I have run 93 in it. I have run 87 in it. I haven't had any problems running either way. I've done a couple upgrades to it. Not really upgrades. I'm more like I put a ball on it. I basically, I stand corrected. I have not done any upgrades to it other than put a ball on it. But anyway, this is your stock 420 Honda Rancher 2020. Anyway, I thought I would take a moment and just go over the vehicle a little bit with you guys. I'm quite impressed with it. This is four-wheel drive, 4x4, however you want to call it. This thing is I think it's pretty impressive. I've never owned a four-wheeler before, and this is my first one. Of course, you have the option here in the front to put a winch on it, which I may do down the road one day. But right now, or there's certain upgrades you can put on here, like a snorkel or things of that nature. But anyway, I'm quite impressed with it, to be honest with you. It is pretty powerful little piece of equipment. I use it around here on the property to move things from point A to point B. I have seen a couple people talk about the plastic on it and what all that is and how that goes, and basically is the plastic is it tough? I'll be honest with you, no, I'm not going to say it's tough. I would say it definitely, yes, you bump a tree or something, but on the sides of this isn't that old, and there's some scuff marks already on the four-wheeler itself. Here's some more scuff marks you can see, and these are just normal. I must say normal wear and tear. There was an option for an upgrade of another $400 for you to get the camo, which they say is a lot more tougher. I have actually looked a little bit about the four-wheeler. Looked online for a couple things. They do make a option for the four-wheeler to have skins. You can put skins on it. So if you don't like the color that you purchase, this is an option. There was a red one, there was a green one, and of course the camo. I kind of like it. But in the same point, at some point, I might want to put skins on it. My wife was not a big fan of the camo, so hence the reason why we bought the green. We kind of met in the middle a little bit, but red I think would definitely have been a problem because of the what's the word I'm looking for? More scratch, more visible for scratches. I have tried using a wax, a very high-end wax on this four-wheeler, made by 3M, to see if maybe that might help with some of the hairline scratches on it. It didn't seem to help at all, other than make things a little more glossy. But you're talking about stuff like this right here. This is just basically wear and tear. I don't mean like abusive. I mean just normal wear and tear of your foot going across the seat, and maybe my small son or my daughter's getting on it and riding. But a little disappointed on that, I will say, and I think I've heard a couple other people say in their reviews of this four-wheeler. Anyway, I thought I'd go over a few things with you. I see a lot of videos out there. I'm not trying to be like somebody else, but I thought I would do my own. There's a rear compartment here in the back. It comes with a toolkit for you right there in the back. There is an opportunity for you to put maybe a winch cable, not winch cable, but a strap or something of that nature in there for you. This does come out pretty easy. Of course, your rear seat does pop up and come off. Of course, that's where your air intake is. You've got a couple other components inside there as well. This rear compartment does come up. and out. There's your battery, a couple other things like that. Like I said, I'm not going to go into full details. I don't know all the specs on this vehicle. But like I said, my opinion on it, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Would I go out and buy another one? That might be a question somebody might ask. Yeah, I think I would. I would. These aren't exactly cheap, but from what I've been informed, Honda is the best. Excuse me, I got a gnather bug on me. Anyway, but Honda is the best. Polaris was an option, of course, from the same dealer we bought ours from, and they told us word for word, if you buy a Polaris, that you know, you may not have it as long. It might not be as long lasting. Anyway, this is a little bit of my reviews on it. Now I guess we'll go for a little bit of a ride and let's put it all back together, of course, and I'll show you how I do that. Here we go. So this guy clicks, of course, back in just like so. Drop in right in here. Let's see if I can get that to seat right. Bear with me just for a second. Oh, come on. Work with me here. There it goes. Just a hard shove, and that will sit right. Close this compartment up. Oops, this was not seated. Ah, that's probably why. Look at that. See that simple mistake I make. So there's two pins, if I'm correct. Not pins. They're more like cleats. That right here, this sits into. That's where I messed up. There we go. There's one. There's two. And push this pin down, push that pin down. And of course, flip this back over. There we go. Up in like so. And click. Well, I say that. Let's get it up in the right position. There it goes. Pull the trigger underneath the seat. Might help you a little bit too. Flip up the rear. Hold my knee. And pin. There is a compartment on the front, which I'm sure you've already heard or seen from somebody else's videos. I keep a little bit of stuff in here. I just keep a couple of little straps and things like that when I should ever need them. There is another compartment here, but this is not a storage compartment. This is basically coolant, as well as your radiator here, coolant reservoir, as well as your radiator. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot of the specs on it. You can see, I mean, it's got some wear and tear on it. Let's see if I can. No, I can't really get too far on it. I'll tell you what, let's take it for a ride. This is an automatic, so in the option you have an auto as well as a manual shift. Now there is no clutch. This is your rear brake, and of course you got a parking brake, and then of course your front brake. This is your shifter, of course your headlights, your start, your high beam and low beam. If you were to get into a panic situation where you needed to cut the vehicle off in a hurry, you can flip this switch right here, and it would, of course, watch. It will not start the vehicle, or the ATV, however you want to call it. Of course, now it will start. This is your display. Basically, tells you that I'm in neutral right now. I like to hold the parking brake and shift it into gear, which you will see here. First gear. Now I have it in manual shift, where I can put it in auto. See, it switches to D. There's first. So let's just go through a couple gears and see what it is. Now I can't really get too crazy in here because it's kind of tight, but we'll try to get up to a little more speeds. Excuse the bumpiness and the joltiness, but we are on a four-wheeler. It's a little hard to do that. Here's a little bit of a terrain. Like I said, if I needed the four-wheel drive, all it would do is just automatically just shift that sucker into place. Not that I really need it in this position, in this place right here, but why not try it? Anyway, there we go. And if you'll notice on the screen, it actually kicked in the four-wheel drive. And there we go. This is not really all that heavy back here, but I do have a couple places where there was some water, but now of course I don't need to ride in four-wheel drive. My father always told me, he said, if you don't need a four-wheel drive, don't use it. That doesn't mean don't use it at all. That means basically don't ride around with your four-wheel drive running all the time. It's not good for the shackles and things underneath the hood. So anyway, let's take a little bit of a ride here. Just for video purposes, I'm going to run it in automatic. That's why you see the D. Got a little bit more of a area over here. Again, don't need the four-wheel drive, but if I need to put it in, I can. On demand, on the fly, I guess, however you would call it. Oh, there's a bump. See, look at that. But I say no more wear and tear. Jeepers. But this is kind of an area right here on our property that can be a little bit hectic and hairy. But this four-wheeler seems to handle it no problem whatsoever. Bear with me for a second. Let me get through this here. Here we go. There we go. Of course, this is my property. I'm not riding on somebody else's property. My wife and I own all this property here, and you might see some of this in future videos. Those of you who don't know much about us, we are new to this property. We just recently purchased it about 4 months ago, and we are learning a little bit about it and what it takes to operate. It definitely likes to get up and move, I will say that. So if you're looking for a vehicle with power, this thing has got it. This is not like a 1,000 cc's or a 700 cc, but I think it moves pretty good. No, you're not supposed to ride with somebody on the back of it, but I have put people on the back of this with me and rode through these trails, and it just cruises right along with me. Anyway, back to what I was saying about this property. So this property has lots of trails on it, places for us to ride, and you know, it's kind of nice to be able to get out during the morning. It's a little bit warm already. This is what, the end of July, and it's basically a little bit warm, but it's nice to be able to get out here and ride a little bit and kind of get your mind off of what's going on. Here's a little bit of a trail over here. It might be a little bit dried up, but we've named our trails different names. It's kind of funny, but we did. Just trying to make it comical. Enjoy yourself while you can. Giving Mother Nature an opportunity to give you what she's got and share it with you. That's what we moved out here for. Anyway, yeah, let's see. This trail doesn't look too bad. I know you've seen this trails a little bit on my previous video that I put out there. I see that some of the storms recently have put some dirt in the ground, or put some trees. Oh, there we go. Now see, here we go. See, now that's not really, somebody's gonna be like, oh, that's just nothing. That's just my four-wheeler goes through that. I get that. That's not the point. This is not about a competition of who's got the best four-wheeler. This is basically finding out what this one is capable of. That is all this is about. And I put it through some paces. Quite impressed again. Again, I asked a question a minute ago. I said, or excuse me, the comment I made a minute ago, if I would buy another one, yeah, I would. I was quite impressed with it. Hopefully the Honda name stands firm, because if you know about my Hondas in the past, if you've ever bought a Honda, which I have a couple of them, they're pretty tough. They take a beating and they keep on going. Kind of like a Timex, but anyway, let's get up a little bit. I will tell you something I did know about the vehicle. I looked it up because I was curious. Was that it will do 53 miles an hour. That may not be a lot to some people, but on four wheels, that's a bit of movement. Now, of course, you got those people out there riding motorcycles and dirt bikes and all that stuff. But anyway, you kind of get an idea of what this thing is. If you get a chance to get one, I highly recommend you getting one. If you can afford it, go for it. It's definitely a very, very versatile vehicle. Will I upgrade it and do, you know, some of the upgrade mods to it? I don't know yet. I haven't really thought about it. I mean, I don't really have a need for a snorkel. A little hard pinch here because I'm holding the camera as well as, but that reverse, by the way, I didn't think I mentioned that. So right here, you just got a little cleat, a little lever, pull that lever back and kick it in reverse. So if that's first, nope, that's be neutral. There's drive, and of course if I was in manual, it would say 1, but I'm going to keep it in auto just for the simple fact of holding the camera at the same time. Anyway, there's reverse. I know the sunlight's hitting it right perfectly, but there we go. Oh yeah. Boy, I tell you what, now when the rain comes back here and it pours down, we got a couple natural springs up here on the side. It'll put some water out here, and it is nothing but a mud pit. And this four-wheeler does exactly what you need to do. Have I gotten stuck out here once or twice? And that's probably just not doing, and I don't mean it was me exactly, it could have been one of my daughters riding. But anyway, I would say the four-wheeler does exactly what you're trying to get it to do. This is not a performance or a high-end four-wheeler. I mean, this is not the best thing on since sliced bread, but to be honest with you, it's a great four-wheeler. Like I said, if you get a chance to get one, go for it. I haven't had any experience yet with the service department. This one doesn't have a whole lot of miles on it. I have already done the 100-mile, or not 100 miles, excuse me, the 100-hour service, which I did myself. I did put a K&N oil filter in it. And of course, I'm running full synthetic oil through this Mobile One, full synthetic. Like I said, I haven't had any problems with it. It is still new, of course. You know, what problems should you have when you go spend this kind of money on a four-wheeler? Should you start having problems? I would hope not. But in the same point, these things do happen. You do happen to get the wrong one or the one that has problems. But from what I can tell, this one seems to be doing everything I want to do. And, well, basically we're back to where we were just a minute ago. Hang on a minute. Let's see here. Let's go here. All right, so if you have any questions, comments, please leave them in the bottom. Please like and share this video. And if you're not a subscriber of our homestead, please think about doing so. We would really appreciate it. We're new to YouTube. We're trying to figure it all out. During this pandemic of COVID-19, of course, we're kind of keeping ourselves on the property here, but we'd love to have you come join us in the subscribe button. I guess until next time, this is signing out from the homestead. Thank you so much. Have a great day.